Hey guys, I just thought I'd do another little quick update video on what is happening with the Supra. So my exhaust wrap arrived today. What we've got is the DEI titanium 2-inch wide exhaust wrap. I really recommend this stuff. It's a lot easier to work with than any fiberglass gear. You still get it if you're not using gloves or whatever. It's still a bit itchy, but nowhere near as bad as the fiberglass stuff. So I decided to wrap this with it on the car. So it's a piece of advice. If you can take off your downpipe and do this prior to installing it on the car, you will make your life so much easier. It took me a long time to get this all perfectly wrapped and sealed with it on here, pulling it through and around each side. So yeah, I've got that down there now. It looks a lot better. It hides the old, it's only a mild steel exhaust. So it gets rid of hides all the rust and things like that. I would have taken the dump pipe off, however, the exhaust shop that did do it, I don't have a V-band on the bottom down here, and I'll show you that now. And what I've got that you can just see, where is it? There it is. It's just got a normal flange on it, but they've used some sort of sealant on there, and I didn't want to bust that open and have to reseal it. So I've wrapped it about 85% of the way down. You can't really see, but it's as far down enough that I'm happy with to get rid of a lot of heat that's going on in the engine bay. You can see my screamer pipe there just dumping down. This is also a good view to show you the T56 Magnum. So it is like the Grannis one, but in Australia we have another company that also makes JZ to T56 bell housings, just like the Grannis ones. They're pretty much identical. I've got that, and then the Magnum. Another thing I should point out is I have a Magnum XL, which is slightly bigger than your normal Magnum, but the shifter location is at the back of the gearbox there. So that's sort of why my shifter sits a little bit higher than the Grannis ones, but I don't actually mind it because the throw is at the exact sort of place I want it. I feel like if it was sitting more forward, it'd be very short throw. So I got this done at Mal Wood out at Warwick, and I'm very happy with how it feels in gear and the shift movement. I think the throw is 65 millimeters, so it is quite short, even though my shift is quite long, and it looks a bit weird, but it feels absolutely fantastic. Also today, the O-rings for the water neck adapter, I guess you could call this thing. They did arrive today, so they're now sitting on there. So that sits in there quite nicely now. I have sent off the radiator neck to Next Level Motorsport, which are they're a bit of a Supra workshop just south of Brisbane here, to get those two outlets fixed up. I'll just quickly show you. So this was a bit of a situation for me today. This car is an SZ Supra, so it was originally non-turbo Supra. And all non-turbo Supras, they don't come with the bush here where the blue one sits. So normally there's nothing here, as far as I know. All SZs don't come with this. This is still a factory bush that they do come with. It's all rubber. This is a Super Pro polyurethane bush, and it is possible to install this without removing your diff cradle. So I did try to remove this with the diff cradle still in today, but the metal seal, or I don't know, housing you could call it, that sits around this edge here where I'm rubbing my finger on, I just could not get that to budge while it was still in the car. So what I did was that it's quite easy to get this one in, which is what they need when you start pushing some power through the SZ diff. This is a A01B diff Torsen with 411 diff gears, which is the perfect ratio for the T56. So it gives me V160 gear ratios. What happens is when you start accelerating, the whole diff will rotate here if you've got any kind of power going on, or it'll try to rotate. And without this bush here, it does make a big difference. It does move around quite a lot, especially with this just rubber bush. And you can see this one's quite a bit worn. I do have the other bush here. I was going to put it in today, but it didn't fit. I didn't get this one out. This one went in quite easily. I just cleaned the outer, or technically the inner race of the seat for the bush. Just put some WD-40 on it and it slipped right in, and I just tightened that up. This one's 26 years old, so this metal race, I just couldn't get it to move. So I'm going to have to take this to a suspension shop, get them to press this out probably, or cut it out, whatever works, and put the matching bush in, the polyurethane bush on this side as well. And it should make, even just having this one here with this stock one, this should make quite a difference and stop the diff from rotating. But ideally you do want the other one there as well. It will make quite a big difference. To get that bush in, you cannot, there's not enough clearance here between the rear sway bar and that. So to get it in without, it's actually quite simple. Just getting this one in only took me about, half an hour tops. Just to remove that, all you need to do is follow your sway bar over, remove these two bolts on each side, slide it forward. There's also another two on this side, and it just drops down of the linkages, and you can get some access to this area here. So definitely a worthwhile upgrade if you have an SZ that you've got converted. You do need these bushes, otherwise you're going to break. Especially when you start pushing some real power. If you've got any kind of decent tyres and grip, it's going to want to really twist this, and you'll end up breaking your diff housing or even busting this bush apart, and it's then you're going to be in a world of trouble. So that's the kind of progress we've got on it today. Also, I'll be when I get the oil drain gasket again, and I get the turbo and everything back on there, I'll be doing a big clean. I'll try and get some of this rust off the top of the exhaust manifold headers here. It's only because the car sat around for quite a while outdoors. Six Boost is a great brand, but this was just because of the climate I'm living in, so I'm going to try and clean that up and put maybe some VHT on it and make it look a bit nicer again. I'll also be cleaning my K&N. It's a 9-inch with a 4-inch outlet, which goes straight to the front of my turbo. And then this, I've been told from a workshop, the gasket for here that connects to the water neck, it generally leaks. even if you've got a brand new one, unless these two, the faces that match up are absolutely flat. So I'm going to have to use some Toyota black sealant on here, and hopefully that should work. I might put some just on this too, just down the ends to make sure it's all sealed up. I also ended up blocking this off. I'm not happy with how it looks, obviously, but it is over the sealed over the rib there on the inside of this outlet hose on the outlet there. But it won't leak anymore, and I won't have any of those stupid little silicon / very high silicon rubber nipples on there, so that should be quite a bit better. Thanks for watching, and I'll keep you guys posted. Cheers.